we go for launch.
5.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Anything can happen in the next half hour.
4.
My friend, we cannot keep this a secret any longer.
This whole thing is insane.
3.
Quiet, please. I am analyzing.
Where's the kaboom?
2.
There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
1.
I was a teenage monster.
I
was a teenage monster. A horrible teenage monster. 80 pounds of hair all over my face. Long fingernails, my clothes a disgrace. Then I met a teenage angel. A beautiful teenage angel. She looked at me once, then she looked again. She said I look like something the cat dragged in. She made me cut my hair, scrub my face, made me a member of the humane race. Mirror, mirror, look and see, is that a clean cut? You cut me.
I was a teenage monster. Until I met a teenage angel. She took her lips and mixed them with mine. And up in smoke went old Frankenstein.
She made me cut my hair, scrub my face, made me a member of the humane race. Mirror, mirror, look and see, is that a clean cut? You cut me. Teenage monster prodigy. I was a teenage monster. Till I met a teenage angel. She took her lips and mixed them with mine, and up in smoke went old Frankenstein.
I was a teenage monster. Oh, I was a bad boy.
Greetings, my fellow galactic travelers, and welcome back to Planet 8. This is your mission commander Larry speaking to you from our hidden base. Chief Engineer Bob is here by my side as always in the command center, and circling Planet 8 in our orbital spy satellite is Reconnaissance Officer Karen. And we are back. Not only are we back, but we're joined with friend of Planet 8. And a fan.
I
Lord
got a fan
Blood-Rah.
My lords and ladies, so glad to be back. It's been a while.
It's a pleasure to have you back. And straight away, we got a lot to cover, kids. So we're going to kick it over to Chief Engineer Bob. He's going to get us started. We're going to be talking about teenage monsters. And if you've never heard of a teenage monster, you're going to hear about it. Yeah, there you go. Take it away, Bob.
Yeah, we're going to hit on American International Pictures teenage monster movies. The main three we're going to hit on would be I Was a Teen-Age Werewolf, I Was a Teen-Age Frankenstein, and Blood of Dracula. And at the end, we'll kind of touch on how to make a monster, because that technically, I don't know if you could call it a teenage monster movie, or because it's kind of over in its own realm.
Thematically, I guess, yeah.
But I got some notes here, so I'm going to put the cheaters on. My X-ray specs.
Note, none of us here are teenagers.
Oh,
You couldn't tell by.
Nor have we been for many decades.
Years.
unfortunately.
But we can enjoy the movies. So basically all kind of started with Herman Cohen And at the time, he ran the local distribution arm of Columbia Pictures. And through a chance meeting with James Nicholson, who listeners of the show will hopefully remember was half of the James Nicholson Sam Arkoff partnership that created American International Pictures. So that led to Cohen actually producing movies for American International. And at the time, when he was still at Columbia Pictures, The Werewolf came out, which I don't know, I'm sure everyone here has seen it. It's actually quite a good werewolf movie, although it's not the old kind of Transylvania bitten by a werewolf, become a werewolf type concept. It was more, he was like chemically induced, I think.
Yeah. I think like everything else, radiation probably have something to do with it as well.
Yeah. I think it was the drugs. So anyway, The Werewolf had come out. And once Cohen was hired by AIP, he came up with the concept of combining two popular genres, horror films and teenage delinquent movies, neither of which AIP ever really shied away from. So it was an idea that went into production. Cohen actually hooked up with Aben Kandel, and they wrote Blood of the Werewolf under the screen name of Ralph Thornton. And so if you see the credit Ralph Thornton, which you'll see on Teen-Age Werewolf, you'll also see on Blood of Dracula. That's basically the two of them under a pen name. Why? I have no idea, but they definitely went in under a pen name. So originally it was supposed to be called Blood of the Werewolf, until James Nicholson, who was the person at AIP who came up with all the amazing titles for all the different movies, put his spin on it, and it became I Was a Teenage Werewolf.
Brilliant move. Brilliant.
And so they hired former film editor Gene Fowler Jr. to direct the movie, and Philip Shear to do the makeup, which, say what you will about the movies, I love Teen-Age Werewolf. The look, the makeup. Yeah. He's probably like my favorite werewolf.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's a statement right there.
Yeah.
He's got the pompadour going. He's got the two kind of Bride of Frankenstein strips going through it. He's got big fangs.
It's a great look. I think it's a great look. It's
dripping toothpaste.
Very of the 50s and not your usual looking werewolf. I like it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And, to save money is basically he's still wearing his high school jacket and his slacks and all that. So it's basically the face and gloves for the hands. I think he still has shoes on too. They didn't even do feet for him.
Yeah.
I knew it was Tony because of his jacket.
That's right. That's right. I was so glad that they didn't, what was that? Who was that? You were just talking to him. You saw the clothes he was wearing. And they said, yeah, it was him. It had to be him. I recognized him. Him.
Well, Lord Blood-Rah, it's like, hey, where'd Superman go, Clark?
Larry? Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly. Right.
So you're saying Michael Landon should have worn glasses,
right?
Until he turned into the werewolf. I'm off. But no, I think Philip Shear, he did makeup for all three movies. And I thought Teen-Age Frankenstein, we'll get into that in a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Teen-Age Frankenstein's makeup was amazing as well. I don't know if he's my favorite Frankenstein, but no, Teen-Age Werewolf, definitely my favorite werewolf. So also Paul Dunlap had worked with Cohen in the past, and he was sort of Cohen's go-to music composer. So he did the scores for, I believe, all three movies as well.
Oh, okay.
And I believe he also did How to Make a Monster. So he did not, however, write Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo or Blood of Dracula's Puppy Love. But that was actually done by Jerry Blaine. And Jerry Blaine actually was the person singing Puppy Love in Blood of Dracula. So, anyway, I was Teen-Age Werewolf. It came out, it was released on a double bill, and this is like, I would have loved to go see this in the 50s. It was on a double bill with Invasion of the Saucermen.
That's a fun night at the theater.
I think that is just
That's great.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
It had a meager return at the box office, but it also had a meager budget. So that added up to a hit for AIP. And, back then, studios were charging a lot for A pictures.
Yeah.
And so that's where some of these, like American International, some of these other independent studios came in and kind of undercut all that and offered movies at a bargain. Yeah. And they also did movies that would appeal to a teenage audience rather than the adults.
Right.
Or because everything was adult movies or like Disney for the kids.
Right.
So there was nothing in the middle for the teenagers. So AIP jumped in and kind of grabbed that market.
Yeah. And what I saw was it was made in 7 days for $150,000 and grossed $2 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that, I mean, for AIP, that's a hit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a big hit for them. Like I say, if it was from one of the major studios, they'd probably just figure out,
right,
is a bomb.
Right.
But because they could make films on a budget like that, because they had Sam Markoff to go on the set. You guys are falling behind. Come on, we got to get this done in 2 more days.
Right.
And you want to spend how much on what? So, so yeah, no, I mean, it came out, and really, I think it holds up today. It's like one of, Michael Landon, he's not just my favorite werewolf. This is like one of my favorite. If I had to make a list of top 10 movies, this would probably be in it.
Wow. Yeah, I think
that's how much I like this movie.
Yeah.
And, and again, like Werewolf, it's not your typical sort of, Carpathian type werewolf movie. Although they do have Peppy, the janitor at the police station, that tells John Robinson, Guy Williams as the sheriff, about werewolves in his country and the kind of legend of it. But Tony is a troubled youth,
right?
Getting in fights and things. And Whit Bissell, who was in quite a few movies back in the 50s, he is a scientist, and he basically, between drugs and hypnotism, takes Tony back to his primitive roots,
right?
Which you would think would be like apes, right? But no, it's a werewolf. Turns him into a werewolf.
His plan was through regressing the human race back to their primitive beginnings, he could save the planet.
Yeah, he wanted to do that.
Progressing too fast, too far. So if we all go back to savage, our primitive state, things would be better.
Reboot.
Yeah, right. And also, he says a couple of things. You mentioned it's not the typical Carpathian werewolf thing. The doctor mentions it. He tells one of the cops that he's talking to, who's investigating, the legend of a Carpathian. And then when he finds Tony, he's talking to his assistant, and he said, I've been looking 4 years for a young man who had these attributes, and I can tell that he's the perfect one. There are certain marks on his body.
Yeah, that was.
Can tell. So it's like, is he more of an alchemist? It's because it seems like he's talking about the old werewolf legend. That he's going to help along with science.
Does he have a pentagram on him somewhere? They never say what those signs are or what the
Yeah, they don't. But there's something more going on with Tony than just a troubled teen. Like he's lives with his father. His mother's died, and he comes home and his father's getting ready to go to work, and he says, "Hey, there's lamb chops in the refrigerator for you. Cook them this time. Don't eat it raw like you did the hamburger last night."
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right. So there's more going on with Tony.
Yeah. And it
Just,
starts off with like a really brutal fight between
brutal
him
for the time.
and
Yeah.
and another student who's like a whole lot bigger than he is.
Yeah. And none of them are anywhere near teenagers, which is
Yeah. Well, when the cops and the detectives show up, and the detective's talking to Tony, he's intimating during the conversation that this isn't the first time he's gotten in trouble. It's not the first time he's been in fights.
Right.
And it kind of carries through the movie because there's little things that spark him to lose his temper and later to become the werewolf, whether it's he pulls a prank on a guy at a party, a friend of his, and then his friend wants a little revenge and kind of comes up behind him and blows a horn in his ear.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like turns around and just slugs it,
beating on him.
Couch, which is kind of what prompts him to go to see Whit Bissell, the psychiatrist.
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
And then later on, you've got the gymnast on the bars, and he's standing there watching her. Everything's cool until the school bell goes off in his ear, and then he's like, and becomes a werewolf. Kind of little side note, I was reading that the actor, I can't remember the actress who was playing the gymnast, but she was a Playboy playmate in an issue that came out like 1 month before the movie.
That's right. Yeah.
And she was like,
she also was 21.
She was in the magazine. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It was, I really like the take on the werewolf in this. It's his fight or flight instinct seems to kick him over into violence with the help of this scientist. And the drugs or whatever he's giving him makes him transform into a beast. That's interesting, and I think it spoke on a base level to teenagers of the time. It still does. I mean, almost like Ginger Snaps. The same kind of thing about adolescence, and in Ginger Snaps it was with women becoming women, the bodily changes, things like that. With him, it was his anger. But at a time in a teenager's life where they are transforming, they are changing, they're discovering the world.
Yeah.
And his rage transforms him into a werewolf. And I think a lot of teens back then, I'm sure a lot of guys back then identified with that, especially in the 50s.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I read a couple articles where it likened the whole werewolf transformation into.
That's what I was thinking of. The whole Hulk thing, like I think you're just going to say, Larry, that whole rage thing.
Yeah, it was very well written and really well shot. There's a scene where a friend of theirs is walking home through the woods, of course, and the werewolf is stalking him.
Yeah, he's just walking.
Yeah, right. And then just the way that scene was shot, I thought it was really well done. Quite a well done horror film all the way around.
Oh, there's also the fight with the German Shepherd.
And the fight with the German Shepherd, yeah.
This is definitely the best of the three.
Yeah.
You look at them.
I think so too. I think it's definitely better than the next film we're going to talk about. Yeah.
Well, Gene Fowler owned a German Shepherd, and he wanted to use his German Shepherd in the movie, but his German Shepherd was like totally scared of Michael Landon in the makeup. It wouldn't go anywhere near him. So they had to get another. His German Shepherd came back in I Married a Monster from Outer Space. It was one of the ones that at the end is like attacking the alien. But, yeah, it wouldn't go anywhere near. Which is funny because there's all those publicity stills from The Wolfman with Lon Chaney Jr., where he's taking a break in his makeup and he's got his German Shepherd there and just hanging out. And
Yeah.
For a 1950s, other than the scientist's premise of why he's doing what he's doing, which makes absolutely no sense. It's well written. The dialogue is well written. The pacing is very good. Very suspenseful. Like you mentioned the scene with the gymnast, her hanging upside down over the bars, that classic scene of him transforming and coming towards her. and she's
And
seeing
he's
him
upside down.
Yeah,
Her view.
yeah, yeah. It's very, and they didn't, like we were saying, they didn't do the stupid thing, which was what I was expecting. He had just walked out of the principal's office. He's fine. He sees the gymnast. He stops, watches her. Bell goes off. He transforms, kills her, and people hear her screaming. They come running, and he runs out. I was fully expecting people to say, "What did you see that? What was that? Who was that? What? Why was he?" They're like, "No, that was Tony. That was Tony. I recognized him. That was Tony." Well,
That's his jacket.
Why did it look that way?
Jacket.
It's the jacket,
Yeah.
I think, but they also said they recognized him.
Yeah.
Which was interesting to me. It was like, okay, you didn't take the stupid route, and where's Tony?
Yeah.
Did the monster get
He
him
was
too?
here a minute ago.
He was here a minute ago, right?
But yeah, he was in meeting with the principal, and she's telling him how, his sessions with the psychiatrist,
He's
and
improving.
his attendance was better and his attitude was better.
Right.
And she mentioned that he had always been a good student,
Yeah.
but it was his kind of, his attitude and his anger and stuff that got in the way of him. And she was gonna basically promote him to, to a college.
Yeah.
And then that bell goes off, and so much for that.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah.
It was interesting. You'd made mention of this earlier, Bob. This film kind of kicked off the teenage monster kind of genre. Before this, what do we have, like Son of Kong? Not really a teenager.
I was a teenage Kong.
I was a teenage Kong. Sure.
This is 57?
57, yeah.
The Blob comes out in 58. And in the commercial, they make mention Steve McQueen and many other teenage, I don't know the
attractive teenage,
exciting young talents or something.
yeah. I don't know exactly what it was, but they made it a point to say teenage,
right?
Even though they're all 30.
Right.
But that was, to get the genre, to get the crowds in.
Well, this film being a hit, it was the first movie in which a teenager transforms into a monster. It was also the first horror film to have a rock song in it. And after that, so many of the other ones did.
Yeah.
So many of the other ones did. Yeah.
Very true.
The mushroom song in The Giant Gila Monster. Well, no, you can't call that a rock song. There was another rock song in it. This was the first
Oh
one.
yeah, no, like Attack of Mushroom People was just a la 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 la. But no, yeah, Eeny Meeny Miny Mo is actually, it's a catchy tune.
It is, but when we were watching it, I turned to my wife and said, "Is he singing behind the beat or are the vocals totally off?" Because he was so far behind the beat, I couldn't tell if he was trying to be jazzy with it or if he just had no sense of rhythm. Whatsoever.
Well, it could have been a
Just
little
was
both.
Not following it. It was strange. But
That's
yes,
probably why they had Jerry Blaine sing his own song in Blood and Horror or Blood of Dracula.
Blood of Dracula, right?
This other guy screwed up, so here you go. But
yeah, good film.
Well,
Good film all the way around.
We should move on to our next film.
Teenage Frankenstein.
Teen-Age Frankenstein. I was a Teenage Frankenstein.
Which actually doesn't have a whole lot of teenagers in it. Other than Gary Conway, and there's a couple little bit parts.
That was a joke,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah.
Because all the bits.
But
sorry, only I found
there
that
wasn't like a whole gaggle of teenagers like there were in the other two movies.
I laughed out loud. Well, this is a descendant of Frankenstein, and I was a Teenage Frankenstein, comes to the United States. He's doing research, and he wants to follow in his family's footsteps of making a monster. But he says, no, I want only young parts. I want to use young. He's telling his assistant, I only want to use young people. I only want to use the, young, fresh bodies. At that moment, there's a huge car crash.
Oh yeah, that was so
Out in
convenient.
front. He goes out 2 car loads of teenagers crashed into each other.
And one happened to be flung through the window and was like over in the woods somewhere.
And the next scene is they're carrying the body in. That's not how that works. Nobody said, "Hey, what are they doing with that body?" Wait a minute. Aren't you gonna wait for the cops? Leave that alone. That's why I laughed when you said only tiny parts for teenagers, because that was it. There were tiny parts all over the place, and he was going.
Yeah. But he was
I laughed out loud at that.
Stitched together from a bunch of body parts, though, because he was basically they took his hands and they took the bottom half of one leg. And
surprisingly gory for the time.
And then they had to replace the face.
Yeah,
well, yeah, I think because Hammer was starting to do that.
Right.
And when they're cutting off his hands and legs and leg, Whit Bissell, returning as the mad scientist, was handing these body parts to his assistant.
Right.
And it'll be like a leg with ganglia hanging off it and stuff. And so it was for that type of a B movie at that time. It was very graphic.
Yeah, very surprising. Very surprising.
Absolutely, and even the mask or the with the buggy eyes and it was pretty disturbing for a
scrambled egg face.
I didn't care for the makeup.
Yeah, I didn't either.
You could take a bicycle pump and hook it into a human eye, and it would never do that. I can't understand in what way could a car accident cause an eye to swell up like a tennis ball and just hang there. It wouldn't happen. I didn't understand.
Well, doesn't it also have like a split through it?
Huh?
Doesn't it also have like a little split through it or something?
Yes, it does. Like that,
and that's his good eye.
that kind of bugged me. It's effective makeup in that it's startling, but it makes logically no sense. A lot like the movie makes logic.
And I know you have a civil tongue because I sewed it in there.
This is what I love. Shout out to Steve Walker's brother. And I love Steve dearly. He tells good stories. But you go to the movies with him, and they're boring in a ship towards the center of the earth, and he says, "Well, the barometric pressure and the heat." So here we are talking about a guy taking teenage body parts and building a Frankenstein, and you guys are worried about the puffy eye. This is the moment of disbelief we have.
you have to suspend belief, but
in for a penny, in for a pound.
Right.
I love it.
Suspend your belief.
The character of the monster, I didn't quite get. It's like, okay, this was a teenage guy that he resurrected and sewed new parts onto and stuff.
Parts of him were, yes.
Yeah. But when he starts talking, he speaks as though he knows what's going on. He wants to get out. He wants to, but at one point, Professor Frankenstein leaves the door open. He's mad at the monster, walks out, leaves the door wide open. So the monster comes out and he's exploring this living room. And at one point, he sits down in the chair. It was like, oh, a comfortable chair. He's just lounging in the chair for a moment. Then he gets up and goes to the piano like he doesn't know what it is and hits it, and it scares him. It's like, well, wait a minute. Do you remember? Why are you speaking so fluently? You remember language. You don't remember anything else about the world?
Well, he blocked out pianos is all.
He blocked out pianos. Well, that chunk of the brain wasn't installed at the time.
Well, again, I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but some people wake up from comas and they can't talk, but they can walk, or they can't walk, but they can talk.
Oh, fair, yeah.
Who knows what part of the
left brain, right brain type?
Yeah.
You have your artistic side and your analytical side, or whatever.
I always talk about how much I loved Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein, where the monster is asking, "Am I the one playing the flute? Or is it a person whose right hand belonged to, or is it their lungs, or is it my?"
Right.
And that's
why do I remember this?
Right.
Why do I remember playing the flute?
great acting also. Anyway, so I don't know about this monster, but maybe he.
I saw Teen-Age Werewolf and Teen-Age Frankenstein back to back, and going from one to the other. Teen-Age Frankenstein is just pure camp, done quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't shot quicker than Teen-Age Werewolf. Well, I know it was made purely on the strength of Teenage.
Well, it was made for like the Thanksgiving weekend or whatever.
That's right.
And
That's
so
right.
they had like 2 months, and they made both Teen-Age Frankenstein and Blood of Dracula either together or back to back, and they were released as a double feature.
Yeah.
So
Of
yeah,
the
it was
three,
kind of
I'm
sort of an
gonna say-
AIP, get it done.
Of the three, I'm going to say Teen-Age Frankenstein's the weakest. That's my opinion. I like Blood of Dracula. I thought that was pretty good. Again, very strange premise, but I enjoyed it.
Now, Whit Bissell in Teen-Age Frankenstein, much more maniacal than Whit Bissell in I Was a Teenage Werewolf.
Much more evil.
And, I mean, he kills his fiance and like dumping bodies into an alligator pit that happens to be,
That was the best thing in the movie.
That was another thing that I laughed at.
I always wondered, did Whit Bissell go out and wrestle an alligator and capture it and put it in his house? I mean,
I was expecting a furnace or an acid pit or something like that. Nope, it's an alligator.
Alligator.
Which is actually brilliant because you got nothing left, at that point.
Supposedly, that is the alligator that I'm never gonna remember his name. That a Texas serial killer used to dispose of body parts.
So he was typecast.
It was typecast. That's right. He was used to, I can't remember the name of the serial killer, but I don't know if that's legend or what. But after the serial killer was caught, they had the alligator, and it was like, well, what do you do with an alligator? Take him to Hollywood, put him in a movie or something, Yeah,
That's
supposedly true. I don't know. But I laughed at that. I thought, no, you can't just have a furnace or an acid pit.
I find it interesting. Ed Wood, was he like inspired by this commando approach of film, or Roger Corman? Infamously, like, give me 100,000 in 7 days. I can give you a product.
Well, Roger Corman came from the AIP school of filmmaking.
He did.
That's right. Yeah.
So it's interesting, how many other directors and
But if you think of AIP and Roger Corman, the actors they got for these movies were either up and coming actors that would later go on to other things. Like Teen-Age Frankenstein was Gary Conway,
right,
who went on to Land of the Giants and Burke's Law.
Right.
Teen-Age Werewolf was Michael Landon, who went on to Bonanza and Little House on the Prairie and Highway to Heaven. Whit Bissell, some of the actors were like up and coming, others were out and going, but they were, they were good actors from, previous decades. But
and in Michael Landon's case, because Teen-Age Werewolf was such a big hit, and he was only 21 when he made it, like you say, up and coming, it's kind of surprising that he wasn't typecast. That AIP didn't say, "Oh, well, hey, you got something there. Let's put you in a few other."
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like contractually, I think he was supposed to do How to Make a Monster, but he was already, I think, on his way to Bonanza or whatever by then.
Oh, so very shortly after.
They had to recast because Gary Conway was Teen-Age Frankenstein again in How to Make a Monster, but Teen-Age Werewolf was not Michael Landon.
Right.
Maybe they didn't have him it was just a one picture deal, and then they were going to sign him for another film or two, and it was too late. I don't know.
Yeah. But he never really shied away from the role because he played an episode of Highway to Heaven was I was a middle-aged werewolf, and they brought the werewolf back into that episode, which is actually, I've got it on DVD somewhere.
Oh,
actually a good episode. Yeah, it's like
I always looked at that as like bookends, you know, beginning of his career and towards the end of his career. He, you know, it was kind of sweet, for lack of a better word, you know.
there's a clip, I think you can see it on YouTube, with Don Rickles, like, you know, needling Michael Landon, and he just like starts riffing on Teen-Age Werewolf when he's doing it. And you know, so yeah, Landon never really, you know, like some people like, I don't want to talk about that role, or I don't want to talk about, you know, he like I say, he never really shied away from it.
Well, good for him. Good for him.
And I never read the book, but didn't Teen-Age Werewolf show up in a Stephen King novel, like It, I believe? One of the kids, like, they're seeing it as whatever frightens them the most. And one kid sees him as Teen-Age Werewolf. And
that's interesting.
Because I think it originally took place back in the late 50s, early 60s or something, when they were all kids.
Could be.
But yeah, so I think, you know, Teen-Age Werewolf shows
Wasn't
up.
it the Stay Puft Marshmallow? Oh no, never mind.
Wrong movie.
Never ever heard us.
All right. So
Can't
we're
be
leaving
fun, but
Wolfsville and Frankensteinsville, and we're heading into Transylvania. Well, no, not Transylvania.
Not really. Girls Reform School.
It's a girls' school somewhere in California.
Yeah.
A nondescript city in California, where this girl's what was her name, Jane, or
I think it was Jane.
Oh God.
Anyway, she's dropped off at a private school. Nancy, that's it. Dropped off at a private school by her father and her new young stepmother.
Dressed like to the nines.
Yikes.
For some reason.
She wasn't a teenager.
Could have been.
Hubba hubba.
Oh.
But yeah. So again, you know, we go back into the gaggle of teenagers because they're all girls at this private school. And yeah, so Blood of Dracula is a lot like Teen-Age Werewolf, except instead of Whit Bissell hypnotizing Michael Landon into a werewolf, there's a science teacher who found an amulet somewhere, and combining occultism with science had hypnotized Nancy into becoming a vampire.
And she was going to somehow unleash power like stronger than the atomic bomb with this. I remember that line.
Sounds very Ed
stronger
Wood.
than the atomic bomb. Like, okay. By the way, that science teacher was played by the same actress who played the principal in Teen-Age Werewolf.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, and Whit Bissell's fiance in I Was a Teen-Age Frankenstein was played by Phyllis Coates.
Oh, from Superman.
Who was also Lois Lane in the George Reeves Superman.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you think she could have called him when she was being attacked and thrown in the alligator pit, but Superman was nowhere to be found. But back to Blood of Dracula.
Yes.
Which originally I Was a Teenage Vampire, but they wanted to cash in on the whole Universal package thing. So they because Dracula really has nothing to do with this movie for the most part.
Nothing.
But
nothing at all.
And they couldn't call it Dracula's daughter because that was taken already.
Right. Right. Is it Dracula's amulet? Did they ever come out and say that?
I don't remember Dracula being mentioned at all.
Yeah. Well, I think they say something. Doesn't one of the cops say something about you think it's a Dracula? Or am I thinking of another movie? I didn't get a chance to see this one recently. I've seen it many times, but I'm trying to remember.
I just watched it the other day, but I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't this film.
But again,
it happened during my 5-minute power nap while watching, but I don't.
I have to admit, I also slept through a good portion.
I stayed awake through the whole movie, but yeah, and again, like Teenage Werewolf had nothing to do with the Carpathian Werewolf saga. The vampire, there's no vampire rules in this movie because she goes out during the day. She wasn't bit by a vampire. Although whenever she appears as the vampire, she has like a scarf around her neck. Like she's hiding vampire bite that's not there. But
yeah.
There's just, I don't know.
Is that one? Well, I didn't understand what that was. I thought it was like a symbolism or something, but she was
scarf?
Just covering like a bite mark or something. That makes more sense.
Yeah, but no, she was never bit.
Yeah, she was never bitten. She was like I say, hypnotized.
Hypnotism. That was big back then.
Yeah.
That and quicksand.
Yeah, there's not enough quicksand in movies anymore.
Quicksand and hypnotism.
I will say, as many Gunsmoke episodes as I watch with Mother, there's never any quicksand.
Surprising.
I don't know if there was a lot of quicksand in the Old West, but you'd always see it in like Tarzan.
Yeah.
Or the Mummy films.
Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island.
Lost in Space. They all had quicksand.
And
I always thought quicksand and piranhas were going to be a much bigger problem.
Right. And it was magic quicksand in the Mummy movies because the Mummy went down in New England and came up in New Orleans. Remember?
That's that whole Godzilla Hollow Earth theory thing.
Yeah, that must be it.
The big man can only take so much make-believe in the movies, but that's a hard one to swallow.
Okay, this is a sidetrack, but I was reading a thing where they were saying, somebody was talking about how all of the MonsterVerse, the Godzilla MonsterVerse films are very focused on this Hollow Earth thing. But when you watch, oh my God, what's the name of the legendary series on Monarch? They seem to have a totally different system of the kaiju and how they're traveling from their dimension to Earth, and that the two don't seem to be the same. That in Monarch
more like portals.
Yeah, and in Monarch it's not really doesn't seem like to be about Hollow Earth. It seems like it's a completely different dimension that they are coming from. So how are they, do they match up or do they not match up? And should we waste any time thinking about Steve. It? So anyway, that's a whole nother topic. Let's go back to Blood of Dracula.
Thanks, Walker.
Had to get it off my mind.
I know those geek obsessions, like, that makes no sense.
Why are they doing this? Something, but I'll hold it for the censor sweep.
Okay.
I tell you what, you guys watching this on YouTube, like, subscribe, and share. But if you can answer Walker's question, you're going to get a Planet 8 t-shirt.
Oh, wow.
Which Karen is sporting at the moment.
I do have my purple one on today.
There you go.
And if you can explain the Teen-Age Frankenstein's giant eye, you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that you explained it.
Well, it had to make up for the missing eye.
But it wasn't missing. It was there.
The other eye.
No, you could see the normal eye in there.
Was a socket.
Huh?
One eye was big and bulgy, and the other one was a socket.
There was the little eye there.
You could see an eye. Yeah,
I could see it.
You could see the eye in there.
I think it was supposed to be a socket, and it's
well,
you're supposed to keep that eye closed.
Maybe with standard definition, it was supposed to be a socket, but
like right at the end, there's that color shot push in of the face, and it's like, no, there are two eyes there. Yeah. One's ridiculous, and one's.
I swear to God, I love you guys. I love the fact that we could watch a movie about a thing called a tingler growing out of a woman's back. We could watch films about a severed head and they put her in the pan but that eyeball.
That eyeball bugs me.
That's going too far.
That eyeball bugs me.
You missed a scene where Dr. Frankenstein had the little squeeze ball and the tube blowing it up.
Checking the air pressure.
Maybe he was on Mars. Because do you remember when Arnold was on Mars?
That's right.
His eyeball was...
And then he's perfectly normal.
They're elastic, apparently.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, Nancy in Blood of Dracula.
Thanks for bringing us back, Bob.
Yes.
Kind of has the same issues as Tony in As a Teenage Werewolf. Although she doesn't get violent until she becomes a vampire, but she has anger issues. She has issues with her obviously very young stepmother, stealing her father away. And, basically as an extension of that, a disregard for authority figures.
Right. Well, all three films, I mean, the thread that runs through all three films, other than their teenagers in it, is that it's about older people using teenagers for their own evil ends. They're all being victimized. They're all being used for whatever the adult's wild schemes are.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure teenagers completely identified with.
They were onto something, not trusting us adults. Then
apparently so.
Yep.
We're sorry.
We didn't know.
That all started in the 50s with these movies.
Yeah,
that's right.
Because you never saw like Beaver and Wally like disrespecting their parents or having a problem with Ward Cleaver's authority. But once these movies hit, that was it.
Yeah.
Hey, Wally, we should rebel.
Yeah.
Well, that was Sam Markoff's whole thing. He's like, teenagers don't act like that. Teenagers don't act like the Disney actors and Beaver Cleaver and the way they've been portrayed up until then. So he wanted to show, whether he went too far or not or whatever, but he wanted to show the more realistic side of
they opened Pandora's box. I mean, I remember Dr. Demento radio show, we'd play teenage enema nurses in bondage, and I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
Well, Stan Freberg, great ad man and comedian, radio personality, did I was a teenage ad executive, right? I think that's what it was called.
Yeah.
Brilliant piece. Yeah. So many things.
The whole I was a teenage line.
Yeah.
Basically became a running gag probably through the 60s at least.
I was a teenage caveman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Roger Corman.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like, Bob, you basically alluded to this at the beginning, was that teenagers were a demographic that had not been catered to previously, right? You were either a kid or an adult, and there wasn't a lot of in between. But after the war and everything, there was sort of this weird little demographic that popped up that had their own music, their own styles, and that they were, AIP was genius to go after that demographic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you look at previous to the 50s, teenagers were all pretty clean cut, and well behaved, whatever. But yeah, once you hit the 50s, then they're the greasers and the bikers, and all that, and it went on from there. But
a lot of that has to do with opening up mass communications and things like that, so that they could feel like they were a group.
You could really see how, especially the first one, I Was a Teenage Werewolf, caught fire among teenagers in the United States, because it was really one of the first films where you saw at least a more accurate portrayal of teenagers. I mean, none of those people were teenagers, but they were playing teenagers.
Well, even before that, you had like Blackboard Jungle.
Yeah, no, yeah, in a much more realistic
rebelling
sense.
against teachers and things.
Yeah.
What year was Blackboard Jungle? Do you remember?
What's that?
Got it.
What year was
I
Blackboard?
thought it was like 55, 56.
Okay.
That's
so
what I'm
a couple years
thinking. Let's
before.
see. Can we?
And it's credited
55.
with coming up with the 55. It's credited with coming up with the term rock and roll.
Right, right. So you've got movies like that coming out. Then 2 years later, the first teenage horror film.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Brilliant, genius to do it. Genius to do it.
they jumped on that trend early.
Yeah. I'd put Blood of Dracula right below Teen-Age Werewolf.
Okay.
Because neither one of them, I mean, Teen-Age Werewolf and Blood of Dracula, I think both have their campy elements, of course. These are 1950s horror films. But they still had a kind of serious, emotional edge to them. You know, you cared about Tony. You didn't want this to happen to Tony. And you cared about, what was her name? You
Nancy.
cared about what's her name?
Nancy. What's her name?
Nancy.
Nancy. You cared about Nancy. You didn't want all of this to be happening to either one of them. You wanted them to be okay. You know,
Well,
especially
like,
with
immediately when Nancy gets to the school, she's being picked on by all the other girls.
right.
So suddenly you get that kind of feeling for her of oh, she's the victim,
Yeah.
before she turns them all into victims.
Right.
But,
And then you meet in Werewolf, you meet Tony's single father. And he's just this hardworking guy who's doing the best he can to raise his son, you know. So both of those films had an emotional edge to them. Teen-Age Frankenstein was just camp, look at the monster.
well, it was kind of their
Alligator pit.
An alligator pit.
it was more their straight ahead attempt to make a Frankenstein movie.
Exactly.
With the caveat that he was a teenager, but
right.
They really lucked out with Michael Landon because he was able to express not only that sort of anger and frustration, but he had a vulnerability to him too.
Right.
You know, and he was a really, even at that stage in his career, he could get those things across.
Right.
So to have him in, I don't know what you want to call a grade C or whatever picture, a low budget picture, that helped a lot because people did relate to him.
I had read, I don't know if this was true or not, but that Jack Nicholson was up for the role.
I heard that too.
And the director said, no, he's not the right type.
Yeah.
Not the right type.
Yeah.
Well, he would do a werewolf movie later in his life, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
With very minimum werewolf makeup.
Yes. Yeah. I liked that movie. I thought that was pretty good.
So, yeah, Teen-Age Werewolf might have looked a whole lot different.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we would have been as sympathetic towards that kind of a Tony because Nicholson has always had that sort of edge and, I just don't. Yeah. It would have been a different character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were going to kind of touch on the fourth movie, which, like I say, was not really a teenage horror film, but it was How to Make a Monster, which had the return of Teen-Age Frankenstein and Teen-Age Werewolf. And what would have been a great movie, the movie within the movie was Teen-Age Werewolf versus Teen-Age Frankenstein,
right.
Which would have been, that probably would have been super at the box office. But maybe, I'm trying to think what was going on back then, but the whole concept of the movie was that horror movies are on their way out and musicals are the big thing. And the studio, what's that?
It was just the year after. It was 1958.
Yeah.
So strange.
Yeah.
It would have that take on it.
Yeah. But like I say, it would have been a cool movie.
Yeah.
Just that little scene that they're shooting of Teen-Age Frankenstein and Teen-Age Werewolf like facing off with each other, and you think, God, I want to see the rest. I want to see the rest of that movie.
Yeah. Well, seeing them together, although the Teen-Age Werewolf isn't Michael Landon, but same makeup, seeing them together was just really cool. Yeah. And this one again, had a very nice emotional edge to it. It's about a makeup artist at a movie studio that is changing ownership, and he's getting kicked out. And he's like the monster man. He's the Jack Pierce of this movie studio. And he's getting kicked out. They're going to start doing musicals and stuff. So he develops this chemical that he puts in the base makeup that bends these two supposedly teenage actors to his will, and sends them
And a
out
little hypnotism in there.
little hypnotism in there. Yeah, right, exactly.
Send them on their way.
This is much more his story than it is theirs.
Yeah.
It's much more the story of the makeup artist than it is.
Well, they were just kind of the tools to
right
to his means.
The
Right.
end to a means.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. it I liked it a lot. I thought it was good. Couple of, well, again, nitpicking.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes sense to me was he's already used, I believe, Teen-Age Frankenstein, Teen-Age Werewolf, the actors made up as these monsters to go out and kill. Then in one scene, he makes himself up.
Right.
And then goes out and kills. It's like, well, you did. Why did you do? Why did you, what?
They weren't available.
Yeah, right.
If you want
yeah,
something
yeah.
done, you got to do it yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
That, I mean, How to Make a Monster was the fourth one, kind of tangentially related, and fun movie. I enjoyed it.
Good popcorn
it's a good
movie.
film. Not a lot to say. Popcorn movie.
yeah.
Not a lot to
If
say
you
about
want to
it.
see Teen-Age Frankenstein and Teen-Age Werewolf on, commercial TV, whatever, Svengoolie shows how to make a monster.
Mhm.
Teen-Age Werewolf, Teen-Age Frankenstein are owned by Susan Hart. So,
Not anymore.
oh, really? What happened? Something
She
happened
died.
recently? What's that?
She died a couple of years ago.
Did she?
Susan Hart,
never
I
heard of
believe so. I believe that's the case.
So why are these not on the mass market then?
Right? I know. I don't know. I don't know if that's I believe I heard that she had died a while ago.
Someone hypnotized her children, the heirs, and
Her evil spawns are carrying on her.
I mean, where are the Blu-rays of these films? Come on. With some
Because I thought Shout Factory were just trying to negotiate with her not too long ago.
Is that right? I could be totally wrong about her being dead.
I am going to consult the
Please
Oracle
do.
of Knowledge.
To the internet.
reconnaissance
All
officers on it.
knowledge.
That's
I
right.
was. I jumped back when I heard Bob was going to do it.
No.
I don't
Well,
know.
kids, while we're waiting,
Susan Hart,
Yes.
American actress, years active. Wow, they don't have
No date of death? I could be absolutely
personal
wrong.
life. Here we go.
Personal life ended on.
Well, they say that she married Roy Hoffenheins Jr. in 81 and he
Yeah,
died in
Hoffheinz.
2023, but
Suzanne Huffines.
yeah, it says born
Wait.
June 2nd, 1941. She's 85 years old, so she's still
Yeah.
around.
Okay.
It's like she's still alive.
With
Yeah,
her
she died a while
her
ago.
grip on the films that she will never let go.
It's so bizarre.
She's 85 years old.
She could make so much money off of doing this. I mean,
Yes.
why? Why is she holding out?
Did they have kids?
Mm,
I mean, just the money's there on the table.
it's crazy.
Here's a website. Is Susan Hart dead or still alive? Susan Hart's birthday and age. So it says, how old is Susan Hart? Susan Hart's birthday. Susan Hart was born June 2nd, 1941, and is 85 years old now.
Okay.
Susan Hart death fact check. Susan is alive and kicking and is currently 85 years old. Please
So there's a
ignore
rumor.
rumors and hoaxes.
Oh.
If you have any unfortunate news for the page, blah, blah, blah. So she
Okay.
is still alive and carrying out her evil missions or whatever.
I mean, I'd buy a box set of all 4 of those movies with extras.
Oh, she owns more than 4. God,
I'm
she's
sure a
yeah,
lot of
she's-
people.
Well, no, but I mean
Yeah.
the 3 teenage films and How to Make a Monster.
right.
A beautiful box set. I'm
Because I know
angry
I think How to Make a Monster came out on DVD. Horror Blood of Dracula came out on I think one of those midnight marquee DVDs, like double feature DVDs.
Okay.
So yeah, that's out or was out. Probably out of print now, but
My God, clean those movies up, get them out there with some extras. A whole.
so I think when I was a teenage werewolf and I conquered the world and a few others came out on VHS, I think that was when James Nicholson was still around. And then once he died, she put a clamp on everything.
Okay.
So
Susan Hart's lawyers tried to shut down my YouTube channel early on because I used to do a show called Tremulous Trailers, and I did Invasion of the Saucer Men,
Mhm.
and they put a strike immediately on it and had me shut down the video. And it was like, what? These trailers are public domain, aren't they? Which I later found out they were. She's just extremely litigious. Very litigious when it comes to this stuff.
She may come down on this episode. You never know. We'll see if we actually get the episode released or not. This may have to be the bootleg Planet 8 episode.
Well, whatever you do, don't play trailers, video or audio.
But man, that just with the box set with the whole AIP story and oh, come on, Susan, what are you doing?
Until that happens, folks, you got us.
Like it or not.
That's
Yeah.
right. They're out there. You can find them.
You can.
I won't say where in case she's listening, but
right.
They're out there if you want to watch them and revel.
Some pretty good quality. Some pretty good.
Rhymes with boob tube.
Oh, it was nice being here, guys. We're gonna miss you.
Wait, somebody's at the door.
All of a sudden,
That's right.
Suzanne's lawyers comes bursting through the window.
Other channels are getting YouTube awards. We're gonna get a cease and desist.
I have a cease and desist letter from Toho.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's a whole other story. But I won't go
That's
into
for
it.
another time.
Yeah. I did say.
Well, my friends, is there anything else teenage related we want to talk about?
There are endless parodies. Like I said, I was a teenage ad executive. I was a teenage this. I was a teenage that. I was a middle-aged this, including our own beloved John Stanley.
That's right.
I was a TV horror host. Substitutes TV for teenager, but
He wasn't a teenager back then, but
he was not a teenager back then either. But neither was Michael Landon or
oh yeah, that's true.
John Way. But the parodies that one title launched are endless, absolutely endless, and serious movies. Like we said, I was a teenage caveman. Was I believe originally going to be titled The Day After Tomorrow? I believe, and the whole teenage thing kicked off. They're like, no, I was a teenage caveman. Go with that. And again, no teenagers in the movie.
That's a fair point. Like I said, the Blob, they couldn't call it a teenage Blob, but they did make mention exciting teenagers are in this film.
Right.
So,
a cast of exciting young people, I think.
young people, there you go.
Trailer says, yeah.
Thank you, Lord
Invasion
Blood-Rah.
of Saucer Men, they were all defeated by teenagers in their cars.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, puberty love. That was the
Well, now that's interesting. It's obviously they're much younger, but did I was a teenage werewolf kickoff movies like the Monster Squad? They're not teenagers, they're kids.
Yeah.
But did they kick off that kind of thing? Stranger Things even.
Or the Goonies.
That kind of the Goonies, yeah, where young people band together and try to, well, that's, yeah, try to tell the adults about the monster and nobody believes them.
The Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys, right?
It's a little bit in there.
Mm-hmm. A bit,
Do you know
yeah.
there's a musical of the Lost Boys?
I heard that.
Really?
Yeah, we were watching the Tonys,
Oh,
and they had a whole they did a whole musical number from this Lost Boys music. I was like, really? Now they're taking these kind of, old goofy movies from the 80s and turning them into Broadway musicals. It's like, what the hell?
using
Nothing is
Disney's
sacred
template.
anymore.
Disney had a few successes with it, so why not?
Anything that was successful will be successful again.
Right.
And they had the saxophone guy.
Well, there you go.
You're kidding.
Well, not the same guy.
Not the same guy, because he's, how old is he now? I don't want to see him playing with his shirt
A
off.
muscular guy with a saxophone. I don't know if he was actually playing, but
So
yeah.
did it from the number you saw, did it feel like it was a parody on the movie, or was it straight ahead like horror musical?
It felt like a reinterpretation
Okay.
for modern audiences.
Okay. Okay, interesting that they included the sax guy. Funny. I still believe. That's funny. Wow.
Yeah.
On the fly, each of you come up with a teenage movie, monster sci-fi that hasn't been done yet. Who wants to go first?
I was a teenage tarantula.
Nice.
I was gonna say I was a teenage fly, but I'll stick with it.
Why
Bug
not? It
theme.
could have been in the Fly series. Why not?
That's right.
I was a teenage
That was Jeff
mummy.
Goldblum's earlier days.
I was a teenage what?
Teenage mummy.
Teenage Mummy, that's good. I was a teenage ape on Planet of the Apes. But
Teenagers on the Planet of the Apes.
dun dun dun. We do not want to follow the lawmaker. Actually, they did have a teenager in Planet of the Apes. The first film.
Lucius?
Lucius.
Yeah.
God, such a great character.
Yeah. Never just anybody over 30. Yeah.
All right, my friends.
I
Well,
was a teenage Sith.
that would be. I was a teenage droid. And, not to spoil anything, it's in the trailer, but for Mandalorian Grogu, you see I don't know if it's a teenage Hutt or,
Right.
young Jabba's son. So
That's right.
it's still it's still out there, kids.
The $6 million teen.
There you go. If they could have a bionic dog, why not a bionic teen?
Why not?
Well, that'd be tough because, if you're still in a growth spurt, you have to go back in and replace those bionics maybe as you're growing. And
Oh, it's self-replicating nanites in the arm.
There you
now,
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I don't know if Rudy Wells had that technology back then.
I was a teenage Kolchak the Night Stalker.
Ooh.
Young Kolchak.
Yes, young
Yeah.
Oh
Kolchak.
no! Please,
Don't give
nobody
him
make
ideas.
that. Nobody make that. That was a
Jack
joke.
Jr.
Oh.
As an aside, Walker and I play that POTA game, and via Zoom, and she'll come up with like scenarios and stuff, and it's very interesting. And I try to stay away online because people are creating their own stories. But I was thinking to myself, could there be sentient or smart apes in Canada or England?
Why Canada?
Or
Sure.
just was it the Planet of the Apes where they're
Were they everywhere? Or
right,
were they
because
just
if we go with original canon, they were slaves and Caesar started the revolt, but why could there not be a Caesar in Europe? I don't know.
you need to
Yeah. No,
there's some books you should read, like the Tales from the Forbidden Zone
Ooh, books
Yeah,
and
that,
boots.
yeah, they've got some good stories with not only apes in other parts of the world, but different apes, different types of apes in other
There you
parts of
go.
the world that are sentient. So
Boom
tales,
Studios did a great series of comics too.
yeah, the comics
Planet
are
of the
good too.
Apes. Yeah.
Which studio?
Boom Studios.
Boom Studio.
Boom Studios. Yeah, their apes line was fantastic.
Awesome.
So
Well, look,
have we segued into the censor sweep of
Sounds
this?
like
yeah,
we've
that's
slipped
exactly right.
into it.
Time to segue into the censor sweep. Lord Blood-Rah, do you have anything you can share with us?
Not immediately coming up. In November, which is a little ways off, I'm going to be hosting at least one or two segments of the Out of the Cellar Horror Film Festival at the Chabot Theater in Castro Valley, California. And the Grand Master host of the event is going to be Count Gore Duvall. And I am so looking forward to working with him. I've met him and chatted with him. He's just a great guy, legendary horror host. That's going to be really fun. And in October of no, October of this year, October 17th, I'm doing a Halloween show at the Orinda Theater that's going to be an Ed Wood party.
Nice.
We're showing Bride of the Monster and, of course, the classic Plan 9 from Outer Space. So watch lordbloodrah.com, and there's going to be more coming up on that.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob, what you got for us?
Well, of course, tickets are on sale for Godzilla Fest. We still have some dealers' tables available if you want to get in there and sell some wares. Everything's coming together really well. We've got a gaggle of meetings coming up this week, and hopefully next episode I'll have some more exciting news. But keep your eye on GodzillaFest.com, get on our newsletter, check out the blog, and you can keep up to date with all that good stuff. Related to this episode, I had a couple things here. A lot of the information, I have a whole big book on like the history of American International Pictures and have very little information on these movies for some reason. So I had to rely on Sleaze Creatures. And this is an illustrated guide to obscure Hollywood horror movies from 1956 to 1959. So it's very limited as far as its scope. But what do we got? So it does have good information in there. Covers a lot of movies that came out during that time. Also, at Monster
Wait, there's
Palooza,
more.
that's right. There's more, if I can find it. I was at Monster Palooza one year and actually got to meet and get an autograph from Teen-Age Frankenstein himself. There it is.
Oh.
Right next to Marianne from Gilligan's Island.
Nice.
And it was Gary Conway. I got to meet Gary Conway. He's a cool guy.
Yes.
He's got a vineyard. Well, he's dead now, but he's got a vineyard up in Northern California where he made wine and all that.
Right.
And he was talking most of the time. He was talking to me about his wine, but yeah. So I got that from Monster Palooza, and then lastly, if I can reach it here, hold on, see if I can get it.
Oh, jeez.
That's great.
There we go.
Zoom
This
in on
was
the eye.
this is an old mask, man. It smells in here. But yeah, this was Chuck Jarman made these masks quite a few years ago, and I was luckily able to get one. Unfortunately, he never did a Teen-Age Werewolf, but one thing that's interesting is down in my basement. Let me get this off so I can breathe. Down in my basement, I have a big head model of Teen-Age Werewolf which I always said I was going to build in my retirement, and here I am retired and I haven't built and painted it yet. So I have nothing to show. Maybe in a future episode. But Mark Brokaw made these, and I was on Facebook and I saw he posted a picture of a teenage werewolf, which is basically the head, a bust, and one claw.
Oh, nice.
And it looked really cool. I'm like, I've got to get that. So I contacted him and said, hey, can I get a teenage werewolf off of you? And he's like, well, I made those a long time ago, so I don't have them anymore. And then he got back to me. He goes, I was looking up in my attic and I found the mold for it. So I'm going to pull you one off the mold.
Nice.
So then a few days later, I get a message. Good news, bad news. Good news is I was able to make one for you. Bad news is the mold broke while I was making it. So that's going to be the last one.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Like, I don't care. I got one. Wow. So, I will, I'll put that as a priority, and maybe for our 10th anniversary or something, I'll have it to show.
You got a whole 2 years.
That's right.
Waka, what do you got for us, pal?
Well, I was out in the garage today rooting around for something completely different. And then I came across, this is not spectacular, I came across these little Star Wars cards that Topps put out when Empire Strikes Back came out. And I have 8 of these.
Wow.
Little cards here. So I've got different scenes of different characters.
Surprised you don't have them all signed by now.
Well, that's a good point. But let's see. So yeah, it was just kind of a neat thing to discover. It was like, I was like, oh yeah, I used to have these up on the wall, have all of them up there to look at. And
nice.
So it was kind of cool just coming across them again. I haven't seen them in a long time. So yeah, I just thought that was kind of cool finding something like that, which I know I've had. I guess I've been dragging them around for decades now. And I haven't seen them, and then just came across them out of the blue. So thought that was neat. That's it. I don't have anything special.
How are things going with the echoes?
Ask me again another day.
Oh.
Okay.
Remember I said I had something earlier and I was going to save it for the censor suite?
Oh, right. Yeah.
I was going to ask Karen, and this is for all you guys. Have you seen the trailer for season 3 of Strange New Worlds?
4.
Just came out.
Yeah, season 4.
4, whatever the newest one is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have not.
Dragons and dinosaurs.
And cowboys. Yeah.
I don't know if there's any cowboys, but
I was surprised the puppets weren't in it.
Oh, were they? Okay.
The puppets weren't in the trailer.
No,
I think they're gonna sneak that puppet episode because it's already before anybody's seen it. It's gotten so much bad press.
Yeah.
Gotta sneak it in under. I don't know. Let's see how it is. I don't know. The first 2 seasons were, in my opinion, fantastic. That 3rd season, they just went a little bit too far with a few episodes. Let's see what this season's like.
I loved corresponding back and forth with text with Lord Blood-Rah. I'm like, Jesus Christ! Oh no, he'd say, but Montgomery Scott, age one, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should look at it, and try not to be such a stickler. I still can't stand the actress is a fine actress, but what they've done with Nurse Chapel.
Oh yeah,
and Roger Corman.
Roger Corman.
Roger Corman's in it now. I gotta watch.
Christine, does this matter?
It's still me.
It's still me, Christine. I wonder if he was trying to channel his
Peter Lorre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am the proud owner of a life-size Tweaky.
Bitty, bitty, bitty.
Beady, beady, beady. He doesn't beady, beady, unfortunately. But he's very well built. It wasn't a commission. The guy has done several, and I've been looking around forever. He did these probably 10 years ago, and Entertainment Earth had them. And Dr. Theopolis is supposed to be on his way. But we'll see. Now, I'm not going to say the guy's kind of flaky.
Will he light up and everything?
No, he's just a bare bones. Now, I was talking with Jeff. Jeff Wenkel has been on the show a couple of times about putting some lights over here because the eyes and the mouth never lit up. It was only the side. And Dan Monroe, Movies, Monsters, and Music, has a Tweaky with his robots. And he does some very funny little vignettes with Tweaky as like Munchkins and Wizard of Oz, and they're like bitty bitty bitty. Anyway, finally got my Tweaky, so I am on purchase hiatus now for quite some time.
Sure you are.
While I pay this down, but very happy.
So is he like 1/1 scale?
Yeah. So it's not hollow, but basically the actor would fit into, the suit.
Wow.
It's not hollow. I was going to say you could, if it was hollow, you could even hire somebody to, get inside and be your Tweaky for the day.
Well, we'll see. Jazz and I are trying to have kids, so it's possible that a young Keikos might.
You have to wear the suit, honey.
It's Halloween, son. Daddy,
Someday.
Not the Tweaky, Daddy.
Come on, make your daddy happy.
Yeah. Get in the Tweaky.
There was this creature from the Black Lagoon. Bob has it going into his basement. It was a Halloween costume, and it was kind of like spandexy kind of material with a mask. Very, $20 costume.
Very kind of Ben Cooperish.
Yeah, and I got the largest size I could, thinking someday I would build a mannequin and have like my own little. I can't get it, but Jeff and I were at lunch the other day, and we were talking about that creature that Bob and I were going to buy.
Oh,
I forget how much money in this thing.
That showed up recently in my Facebook memories.
Really?
Yeah.
that was pretty bad.
I wasn't going to subject people to it, but
So I had that costume, and I'm like, "Hey, Jazz, do you mind if I do like paper mache over your body because you're about the right size?" And she looked at me like, "Are you insane?" No.
She creature.
And then I was, yeah, and Jeff was like, "Oh, you don't want to use paper mache. What you want to do is saran wrap and what did he say, like duct tape or something like that?" I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, it allows a person to breathe." I'm like, his mind is so.
So at that point, you said, "Jazz, come here."
Yeah. This. Unfortunately, the costume went up with everything else, so no more costume. But who knows? Maybe she'll be.
There was a rumor, because was it Home Depot or Spirit or somebody had a Frankenstein?
Yeah, Spirit. Yeah.
There was a
Home Depot
rumor
had
the creature was
Frankenstein
coming.
and the bride.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a rumor the creature was coming.
If they stay true to the license, because it has a Universal on it, it's going to be Wolfie creature or a version of Dracula. We're not going to get Bella,
Right.
Yeah.
and even the bride and Frankenstein. It's not Karloff or Elsa,
Right.
their likeness. But who knows? I know Spirit's coming out with a alien xenomorph this year, and that freaking thing is like huge.
Yeah, I saw that.
Left and right, the jaw pops out. But
I figured that would be on your porch soon enough.
unfortunately, Tweaky just kind of killed the rest of this year's budgets.
Yeah. So
Um,
all things created equal, and you hadn't gotten Tweaky yet, and you had to choose between a xenomorph and Tweaky, what would it be?
I've wanted Tweaky for a long time.
Yeah.
And, what I want to do, Bob, because I'm curious, we need to do our top 10 werewolves, or at least top 5. We'll have Lord Blood-Rah back.
Sure.
It's interesting that the Teen-Age Werewolf would be your number 1. So at some point, I want to do a list.
I could set that episode out then, because I've already given away my my favorite.
Oh shoot! Well, and that's if they.
But we
want
did a
this
werewolf episode.
Yeah, we did.
We did our top 10.
Well, no, we didn't do our top 10,
We
but
did
we
an
talked
episode
about
on
werewolves.
Oh, well, there you
No,
go, kids.
Now, how does this get back to Twiki?
Oh, because
And
the other episode I want to do is 70s and 80s sci-fi.
oh yeah,
Man from Atlantis,
Oh,
Buck
sure.
Rogers.
like I had no idea you even were interested in Twiki, and I've known you for like 40 years now. So it's like, this is insane.
One of the great things with Walker is I can still surprise her after all these years.
All these years.
And as you get older and the mind starts to go,
We'll see, because I didn't
Everything's
remember
a
the werewolf
surprise.
episode, so.
As you get older and the mind starts to go, Tweaky will light up and speak to you.
Twiki says we need more Diet Coke.
Tweaky wants
had
more
a-
tapioca.
Tweaky had a deeper voice. It was beady, beady, beady. Hey, Buck. What are you doing, Buck? And it was Dr. Phil was like, oh. Anyway, I digress. All right, my friend.
Retired too. This sounds like a lot of fun.
hey,
Sit around and talk to my robots.
it's the life.
Hey,
I recommend it to anyone who can do it.
thank God I'm married. Otherwise, I'd be doing more than. But anyway. There was a female Tweaky. She was gold. And instead of saying beady, 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 she'd say booty, booty, booty.
Oh,
But we'll save that for our 80s sci-fi.
Okay.
there you go.
Yeah.
You might have touched on something. What about an episode where we do top 10 Frankensteins, top 10 werewolves, top 10 mummies, top 10
Sure.
or top 10
Well,
lists?
October will be
monsters.
here before we know it. So.
There
We
you
love
go.
lists.
There you go.
So, yeah, we can,
Something to keep in mind.
I like that idea.
Karen has all her scientific methods down for these top 10s now. So
Because
We'll use Claude to help us this next time.
Oh,
We'll just
no.
bring in the AI.
Claude
Yeah.
did create a very cool tank for our POTA game.
That's true.
Was that Claude or was that?
Oh, that one was Chat GPT created the tank for the Planet of the Apes game. Yes. We discovered a futuristic tank in the Forbidden Zone.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. So stay tuned. We'll keep you posted on where we're going next. All right, guys. Well, I had fun. Again, Lord Blood-Rah, thank you.
Hey, thank you for having me back. It's always a pleasure. It's always a great
I will be at the Halloween show, and I want to come out to the. I'm curious to see what films are going to be submitted. They're going to be shown.
They'll be shown at the film festival, and part of the film festival will be films made under the 48-hour challenge,
Okay.
which would be filmmakers meet on a Friday in October. I can't remember what the date was, but they meet on a Friday. They're assigned their specific subgenres of horror, and they have to turn in a completed feature by, well, I believe it's short or feature, by that Sunday night.
Wow.
Qualify. Then I believe all of those films will be shown in a block at the film festival. And then other films, I guess, are coming in from everywhere and I think around the world. I'm not sure, but it's it's a full-fledged horror film festival, which I'm really excited about. I haven't been involved in a horror film festival since the Drunken Zombie Film Festivals in Peoria. And I always look forward to those. I hosted those for about 6-7 years in a row and always saw things that were things that you would never expect. Limited budgets, of course, limited talent in some, but always something new and always something fresh and fun.
There's
Really
a friend of mine who got some friends together, made a film, and put it through the different festivals. And it's streaming on Amazon. And forgive me, Cotty, I can't remember the name of your film, but I will mention it next time.
That's great.
And look, people can say, well, that movie wasn't that, but how many people actually make a freaking movie?
That's right.
So, just like how many people do a podcast.
Who was this that made the movie?
I talk among yourselves while I look.
Enrique Cotty?
No, Cotty.
I see.
Oli.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cotty Dodd. Oli and I know. I am so sorry.
Oh, I can't even remember the name of people I've worked with.
Do You See Her is the name of the film, and it's on Amazon.
What's the name of the movie? Sorry.
Do You See Her?
Do You See Her? Okay.
Yeah. And Cotty has a small part. She's the jogger that gets stabbed. So watch for that.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's interesting. Fun fact, Walker and I were going to make a movie back in the 80s, or was it the 90s?
That was the 90s, I think. Yeah.
And we actually filmed some footage. It's now lost footage. We don't have
Sadly.
it. I found the script or a piece of the script a couple of years ago. It's here somewhere. But
it was the wrestlers.
Luchadors, Lucha Libre.
Oh.
And I was going to get a mask. I was going to be one of the wrestlers. And it was fighting, was it Aztec mummies?
No, I think it was aliens, but we filmed some stuff at the Palace of Fine Arts with my brother. And I think we were going to use, I had my little stop motion set up at the house. But yeah, most of that, all that stuff is lost now, unfortunately.
We need to fly up, Walker, so we can go to this 48-hour. We'll put our talents together and we're back in the game.
Yeah.
Well, all we need is a phone now.
And talent,
Wow. That's where Bob comes in.
Not me. Don't bring me in on that stuff.
All right, kids. Well, again, this was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Thank you guys for tuning in for over 8 years. We appreciate you. Like, subscribe, Lord Blood-Rah's YouTube channel, your Planet 8 podcast YouTube channel, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. This is Planet 8 signing off.
On that note, this will conclude this transmission from Planet 8. We would like to thank all of our intergalactic audience for listening. Be sure to head on over to our website at www.planet8podcast.com, where you can get more information on this episode's topic.
For more conversation, find us on Twitter at Planet8Cast.
Or on Facebook at facebook.com/Planet8Podcast.
We want to thank you guys for tuning in each and every episode. We look forward to your input and opinions. Until next time, this is Planet 8 signing off. End transmission.
By George, he's got it. It is the end.